Hello everyone, welcome to Weintek webinar today. This is Finn, and I'm going to introduce what's new in EasyBuilder Pro V6.09.02. We just released this latest version 2 weeks ago. Today's topic will follow the content of the release note explaining each new feature and how to use them in this webinar. Okay, this content covers 5 topics. The first topic is recipe database. It is able to preset the data range, set the limitation for input recipe data. The second topic is for the label tag library. I will introduce the history of the development and show you the new features including batch add and find replace feature. The third one is for FTP Server. For a long time, we use FTP to transfer files without encrypted method. Nowadays, more and more communications functions need to include encryptions to prevent information leakage. And we will continue to support secure communications. The fourth is for condition object. In previous version, we provide condition object to replace some macro statement, allowing users to directly design object instead of programming code. In the new version of EasyBuilder Pro, we have taken it to the next level and providing customized logical expression that can be used more widely. The last part will quickly introduce the remaining new features. Okay, let's start again. The first part is recipe database for preset data range. Okay, sometimes recipe database needs to be bounded in certain range. Okay, for example, there's a reasonable and safe range for setting recipe material amount or setting air conditioning temperature. There are a specific range that you need to be bounded the recipe data. So it is more intuitive and convenient to use this data range when defining it, which you can see right over recipe database. In definition, if the data was for if the data is for numeric type, so you can check the data range limit and you can enable it and key in the minimum and maximum value if you want to put a upper and lower limit. So after enabling it, you can define the upper and lower limit of the input range with appropriate value. Okay, when we explained here is that for after the preset data range is set, the new recipe data created under data will be follow the restrictions. So as you can see, the input limit will be set over here. And if you create a new recipe items, new recipe data, the default value will inside the preset data range. And of course, if you use a numeric numeric object and choose to use recipe address, this restriction will also be brought out. So you can see the lower limit and higher limit is the setting is your setting for preset data range. So we have also an application for managing recipe called recipe database editors. So we can export the recipe data definition right over here, export, and import in recipe database editor. So as you can see right on the right hand side. all behavior in the recipe database editor is the same on the EasyBuilder Pro. So I will quickly show you when I demo later this section. Okay, so when the input data on the HMI exceeds its set range, the result address over here will display 64, which we add we newly add for the new error code is for value out of data range limit. I will remind you of an exception over here. So this limitation only bounded on the input data. So if the DB database file that already exists in the EasyBuilder Pro, we won't judge the new. If we download a new preset data range, we want to how to say that. If the database already exists in the HMI or database file download through utility managers, the system will not check whether it exceeds the range or not. So we focus on the keyword so-called input. So please remind these exceptions. Okay. So first, let's check about our demos. Okay. So in these demos, we have check the recipe database. So we have multiple numeric recipe item over here. So there are 4. We've set for some hex, some binary, and BCD and signed value. So you can see the preset range over here. So you can check the setting. So we can enable it and put the number that we want to bound. So in the data range, as you can see, they already have a data in this data range. So if I use a new one, they have strictly to it create by should inside the amount the data range limit. So if I accidentally, like you can see, I accidentally change the value over here. I call it to 150. So you check the data over here. It will show the red. It means the value is exceed the input limit. Okay, so it will show the error pop-up message over here. So you have to change the value and put it inside the data range. Then it will proceed the procedures. Okay. So as for the result, you can see over here, the result for the recipe database 64 is for the value out of data range limit. So, okay, let me check. Sorry, let's delete one of them and run the simulations over here. Let me introduce the EasyBuilder Pro project first. Okay. So in here we have multiple numeric object for assigned to recipe data over here, and for this 4 is for jog plus. Jog plus means I have to increment value for this recipe data. And Here's data transfer features from local word to recipe data. So these are local words corresponding to the recipe value. And some features using the recipe comments over here. So I use the recipe comment 6, which means the 6 means the update select record from PLC. That is mean I enable this transfer, so the data will transfer from LW0 to the recipe data. Okay, so I also put a recipe view object over here, so I can allow to in-cell editing. Okay, so start to check this demo. Okay, for the demo, you can see the range. If when I click this, it will show the range for the show the data range for this recipe data. So I can key inside for the correct value. If I put a value outside the data range, it will show like this. The input value is invalid, so it will not able to enter. It will not able to input this value. Okay, so I change to 200. So as you can see, if the data is not reached to the higher limit, I can use the jog plus features over here. But if it reached the top limit, so I cannot able to put new data and put a +1 inside this recipe data. Okay, so this is for jog plus. The next one is for data transfer. For data transfer, if because it transferred for nine words, and which means the 4 recipe data will transfer at one time. So sorry. So if all 4 data are correctly, I switch a little bit. So if these 4 data are correctly inside the data range, so I click the data transfer, it will transfer successfully. Okay, so but if one of them is not, so I put 250 over here. So I click the data transfer. So if one data is not is not correct, so the whole data transfer will ignore. It will pass over for to do the data transfer actions. Okay, so the next part is using recipe comment. So I can upload from PLC, so which means I can use LW to use the comment 6 to transfer to a recipe data. So click this one. As you can see, I have one value is not in the data range, so it will show the result for 64. Okay. Okay. So also I can also put a value in directly in here. So you can see 200 is okay, and 201. Also, it will show the input value is invalid. Okay. Okay, this is for the first demo, for our first demo for the preset data range. Okay, let's absorb it and follow to the next. Okay, the next part is for import export object. We also have the import export object to do the recipe transfer, right? So here's the thing. When we want to transfer the entire recipe data, we can use the import export object. But at this time, we need to confirm how to determine whether the transfer database file can be executed when the preset data range is enabled. So if the local or USB SD card is used, each data imported will be judged. Will be judged whether the value is inside the data range or not. Okay, so if the data exceeds the range, execution will be ignored and an error code will be displayed. And this is the error code, 207 in hex, and which this means error while validating recipe data table range limit. Okay. But the question is, if when we are using the remote HMI, which means we have two HMI to transfer recipe data to each other, how to determine when the preset data range is set on both sides? Okay, so here's the chart over here to explain more clearly. So when source data range is smaller or equals to the destination data range, recipe files can be transferred like this way. But the other way will be fail. We only judge the preset data range on both sides. Because we don't want to judge the value one by one, it will very time consuming, and this judgment will easily to let us know if the value in the smaller data range, and it will perfect fit in the larger data range. So if two HMI they doesn't have the same data range, you will have this kind of situation. One side is okay, the other side will be fail. So if you want to create and transfer recipe database very normally, so you might need to put the data range on both sides identical, which means you have to make it the same data range. So the both side transfer will be okay for the applications. Okay, so this is the kind of special judgment for us for the import export features in the recipe database if both sides have the preset data range. Okay. Okay. Let's move to the next part. This part is for the label and label take library for batch add and find replace. Okay, when we start a project, most of it is domestic based with one language. So when design a project, we usually directly use the label function on the object to complete the project. But as the project gets larger and larger, it may be necessary to expand the project into a multi-language systems. The following functions become quite helpful. So from the beginning, you can only edit the label through the UI, user interface of the label tick library. Sorry. So in the beginning, we have to build our label tick library for our multi-language project, right? So we have to build the label tick name, the language 1, language 2, multi-language over here. Then I have to inside the object and check label to use label tick library over here. So I have to assign one by one to those objects. And for now, for now we have this add to label tick library features. So if I click this one, so this the bitname label will transfer it into the label tick library, but we still have to do this action inside each object. So this is very time consuming. Okay, so after EasyBuilder Pro V6.09.02, we provide a user interface for add to label tick library, allowing user to search for all label objects at once and providing the function of adding them in batches. Okay. So this is the UI interface. So you can select it under the label and this add to label tick library. And another way is to directly multi-select the objects. For example, I can select the for object and right click, and here's an add to the label tick library function over here. Okay, so this part is saying that we support by labels that can be searched, include like object label, operation log comment, event log message, or event log category or subcategory, customized name or name. Okay, so this label is that we can search inside the add to label tick library in user interface. Okay. So let's check with the actual demo project. Okay, so in this project, the label tick library is empty. Okay, so we can use this add to label tick library user interface and click find, and you can filter the entire project, selecting project or some window numbers over here. So global settings, if you want to check the event log or something. So if I use Windows 10 to find, so you can see all the labels that list in Windows 10, and I can use like this to add or directly add all into the label tick library. Okay, so if I click single one and click add, then it will show the label, and you can assign the label name and the number of status. But if you click add, it will directly add into the label library tag. So you can check the label. You have two labels right now. Okay. Also, the other way is I can directly multi-select all the object and click right. Sorry. Right here, and also add to label tick library over here. So you can check the label is add into the label tick library. So this is convenient for the user if they want to transfer for a single language project to multi-language project. Okay, so this is for batch A for the label. And back to the PowerPoint. Okay, so another feature is called quick search and bulk replacement. And After we complete the above conversion, we need to click search and modification came next. So we add the original found replace function with the label and label take library to meet the requirements. So there are two ways to open the interface. The first way is to use the Control F like usual and find the label over here. And the second way is right under the label like previously add to label library. You can also find a find replace label over here. If you click this, it will directly transfer to this page. Okay. Okay. It should be noted that the general label range can be searched is for the object label and the template object find string. So I will explain this later. And for the label take library search, and this is same as the batch 8 features like label, like operation log comment, and for the event log messages, event log labels over here. Okay. Okay, so let's directly check from the demo project. Okay, so I just add some label over here. So when I use find replace label, for label you can check if I click BCD, and I can find the text label that include the BCD, and with maybe if you want to match case, you can click this to find, and you can use BCD to transfer to GHI maybe, and click it to replace or replace all. Okay, so if you can see right over here, you can directly change the label. And the next one is for the template object. So you have to focus on that we only search for the find sections, not replace with sections. For template, we because we want to make it too complicated, so we focus on the find. So we only can find the topic and contact for the template object label. So I can show you the Control F for label. I can find the topic. Sorry, maybe the. So as you can see, the template object for text mapping is for topic. And this topic can change to also can be replaced to other label. But if you change the label, you have to remember the link will be changed. The value will be changed, so you have to beware of that. Okay. So this is for label replacement. The other one is for label take library replacement. So you can see we have, but remember the label take library replacement only can search for the label take name instead of the content of the language inside. So I have to switch the label take library and key label. So you can see the label take name can be searched, and it can also be transferred to other label over here. Okay. So this is for the label and the label take library new features. Okay, the third part is for the FTP server encrypt communication. Okay, So FTP server communication can use explicit FTP over TLS. Right over here, and communication protocol is used TLS protocols. So it is much safer than if we don't use any encrypted method. So we currently provide a default certification. So default certification is right over here. You can check the site details over here, the issuer and the details. And the used protocol is TLS 1.3. Okay. And also, we have a custom certificate. So if the customer is willing to sign a certificate themselves, we can also import the custom certificate. The example in this picture is using OpenSSL to create a self-signed certificate for development, or something is using the testing purpose. So you can check the test certificate Weintek over here. So it is also available, but you have to check the OS version first. So we have the limitation for the OS version about these features. Okay, so there are two ways to import the certificate. One is from EasyBuilder Pro, which is the previous system setting page over here. And the second one is using utility managers. So you can use utility manager to import the new certificate. Okay, so I can show you over here with. I use the utility manager. It will be faster for the demo. So I open the utility manager. Okay, so maintenance over here. So you can check the FTP server certification update. So I can find the one HMI, and I use default certification update first. So I have to find this is for the FTP client that I have to use a new site. Sorry. You can check the encryption that we require, the explicit FTP over TLS, and the username and password. So, okay. Okay, so after FTP client asks to connect to our server, there's a certificate they need to trust it first. So this is for our default certification. So right over here. So it's for ACME corporation site, and the host name and the protocol over here. So we can use customer certificate as well. So I have to choose that I already create those self-signed before. Okay, so I can update again. After finish, I canceled it and I reconnect again. You can see the certification is changed to the tester certificate Weintek. So both certification is okay. So because the protocol inside, the encrypt protocol inside is already used TLS, so the data of the communication or the transfer is encrypted and secured. Okay, and also to remember, the certification must be paired. So if I reset one of them, now I am not able to import if I only have one files. Okay. Okay, so this is for FTP communication with encrypt TLS SSL. Okay, move to the next topic is for the condition object. So the condition object is originally used only and or. So if I have multiple condition over here, I can only have all with and or all with or operations. And it can also be used with action triggers to execute subsequent actions. Okay. So this is the function that we want to replace a simple macro program. If the customer doesn't want to write macros, it's a replaceable object by using this object. Okay, but the problem is when the expression become more and more complex, the original condition object cannot satisfy because it can only use for a single operator, right? So we add customized logical expressions, including the AND operator or operator and parentheses. Right over here, you can see the parentheses to upper the calculations. So the customized logical expression will to the component can achieve and replace more macro programming code for us. Okay, so in addition to adding complex expression, the conditions object can do one more thing, which is to set as the object security mode. Support the above mentioned object, like the most complete features of button is for combo button, or for window control direct window, indirect window, or the most used numeric object and ASCII object. For these 5 objects, we add the condition object as a security mode, as a new security mode for those kind of object. Okay, so combined with previous action trigger and nested use of multiple condition object, it should be able to apply to most if-else statement in macros. Okay, so let's imagine a situation. Now we are holding a summer sale, and we need to determine whether each customer is buying meets the discount conditions. Okay, so here's my condition. Condition 1, if the customer is a very important person, then yes, this buying purchase is have a entire item has discount. Okay, so if the customer is not VIP, but the price and entire item exceeds $5,000, and the product quantity exceeds 5 pieces, then yes, you can have the discount. Then others has no discount. So for these 3 conditions, I have to put a set very important tag as LB0, and the word for total price, and the quantity for another word, and for discount or not for the output address for to put in LB1. Okay, so let's directly check the project. So for this condition, how can we design this kind of condition object? Here. Sorry. Okay, so for the condition over here, I call it discount, and LB0 is for does he very important person? If yes, then call, and this condition will be set on, and the total price and amount over here. So larger than 5,000 and larger than 5 amount. And we can use the customize over here. And if you want to add more logical expression, you can simply use the insert into logical over here. And and do the and or operator or the parenthesis over here, and I use an output. If this condition is true, the discount is available, then our output LB1 is true. Okay, so I can show you to by creating this bit and word. So this is for output LB1 and for blab. Okay, so if I use the offline simulation, let's check the condition object is working or not. Okay, that's okay. How? Okay, and also I create a text message for the item that marked as discount cannot be refunded after sale, and this is use security mode with LB1. So if I have a discount, I have to show the text. And the other one is for combo button. And this combo button, I use security mode as the this condition object. So let's check how it works. So if I am a very important person, so I have this discount. So I have to agree with this after sales agreement. And if I'm not a VIP person and I have to buy over 5,000, so I have to buy over 6,000 and over 5 amount piece. So in this situation, this condition also counting as true. So this output will be true, and this after sales agreement should also be showing up. So this kind of complicated, complex expression in macros before that can transfer into the condition object right now after the new EasyBuilder Pro. Okay, so let's check the answer over here. So we have to create 3 conditions, and we have to choose the customized logical expression. Okay, so I have to VIP and amount and total price. Okay, and then enable output. So the last part is right over here. If item is marked as discount cannot be refunded after sale, right over here. So this setting is for the combo button that use condition object as a security mode. Okay. Okay, so the last part, there are 2 more features that doesn't explain yet in our new EasyBuilder Pro release note. Okay, so let's dig in. Okay, so this is for event log recover features. I believe some customer already encountered this problem before and reported. When the HMI trigger an event and this event not recovered yet, if the HMI accidentally shut down and reboot, this event will always exist in unrecovered list because it didn't receive a recover comment and record the time. So this permanent exist behavior is actually very annoying. The only solution is to delete all event records. So we provide this. When starting up, mark event triggered prior to shutdown as recovered. So this feature shows if you have interest in this feature, you can create a simple demo for it. So it basically, if you reboot or reopen the simulations, the unrecovered event will all mark as covered now. Okay, so this helped a lot of customer to optimize their application, their project. Okay, so this is for the event log recover features. And the next one is for the operation log printed as PDF file. So in order to comply with FDA compliance, we provide the function that printing this record using PDF output in operation log, which specifically records all actions triggered on HMI. So here I can show you if I enable the operation log over here, the printing can save as PDF. Okay, so this is helpful for the those customer that they want to make sure this operation log is unadjustable. Okay, so if we print out as the PDF file, it is able to make sure the I can view is not edited. It's not an edit version. Okay, so okay. Okay, so this is it. So thank you for attend this EasyBuilder Pro new feature seminar today. Hope you have a wonderful Thursday. Okay, bye.